So what a weekend of rugby we had in the Autumn Internationals, and another weekend is very soon to be upon us. And one of the big games starting this weekend is Scotland against Argentina. Both teams lost on the weekend. Scotland against South Africa, they lost 26-20, and Argentina lost against France 28-13. This is my preview of the match between both nations, Scotland against Argentina at Murrayfield, so make sure to subscribe if you enjoy. Let's first of all talk about the home team, and we have a special guest on the channel today who's going to preview the game from a Scottish perspective. Stargiller G-Star, he is going to preview this one for us. His link will be in the description down below, so go and check him out and give him a subscription. Over to you now, let's hear what you've got to say.
Hey guys, Starkiller Guitar here. I am doing this video for BIS Rugby for Brandon's channel. I'd like to thank Brandon for asking me to do a video for him. I'm going to be talking about the Scotland against Argentina match this coming Saturday. I assume you'll all be watching it, as will I. I'm talking on the back of Scotland's defeat against South Africa with regards to the changes we would make, and I think we should make. I would make some changes just to make sure that, you know, the squad's freshened up a bit, and there's a couple of players who didn't perform well enough on Saturday to justify being picked against Argentina. And obviously we've got to think about moving forward to the World Cup as well. So here is the team I would pick. In the forwards, I would swap both our props around, have Alan Dell and Simon Bergen come in. For no real reason against Gordon Reid or WP Nell, who both did pretty well against South Africa. Just to basically keep our front row fresh, to know that if our backup props are good enough, and if they can, you know, help steady the ship, the scrums. I'm sure it will be different against Argentina than against South Africa. So yeah, I would give them a chance. I'd also go back to the second row combination we had against Fiji of Sam Skinner and Grant Gilchrist, because both of them played very well then, and they looked good as a combination. I wasn't that impressed with Ben Toulis on Saturday against South Africa. He didn't do anything particularly wrong, but he didn't do anything altogether like outstanding either. I just didn't think he was that good. And Johnny Gray, for me, hasn't made a significant impact this autumn. He still tackles well, he works hard around the pitch, but his carrying, he's not getting over the gain line as much as I think he should do for a second row, and also he's not making great impacts in attack as I know he can do as well. So I'd drop Johnny Gray to the bench, give Skinner and Gilchrist a chance again to play together. Sam Skinner, I thought, has looked very good this autumn, and he's definitely been a good find for us. Grant Gilchrist as well, I think, offers a lot more than Ben Toulis does in the second row, in terms of not just his physicality, his line-out play, his all-round work rate, and his carrying was very good against Fiji as well. And I think he's a bit more effective all-round than Toulis is, but that's just what I think. In the back row, I'd bring in Gary Graham. Obviously, this is a talking point considering he was selected by England squad in the Six Nations, and obviously had to pull out when he got injured, and now he's with the Scotland squad. So I would pick him, not just to get him capped, but because he looks like a good player for Newcastle, and I'd make sure that, you know, give him a chance to show what he can do. And I think, you know, he can do well for Scotland, and I have full faith he'll give 100% in the Scottish jersey. Obviously keep Hamish Watson, who's been absolutely brilliant in the 2 games he's played so far, and I'd bring in Josh Strauss over Ryan Wilson at number 8, because Josh Strauss in the 2 games he's come on, he's made a great impact, carried well, been very aggressive. And Ryan Wilson against South Africa in particular, I thought he went missing far too often, didn't make a great impact at all, and that's why I'd drop him. I actually wouldn't even have him on the bench for Saturday. So that's my thoughts on the pack. I think we could definitely give Argentina a hard time up front. We could compete with them well in the scrums and do well in the lineouts, which for the most part we've been doing very well in the lineouts, so don't see a problem there. And also I think this pack will give physicality at the breakdown as well. Onto the backs, I'd basically keep mostly the same, but this is just a personal preference. I'd take a risk on the wing. I'd bring in Darcy Graham over Tommy Seymour. Nothing against Tommy's performances this autumn so far, just to see what this kid Darcy Graham can do, because he's one for the future, no doubt about that. I think he's going to be a great player for us going forward. He's a small player, he's a bit like Shane Williams, he's nifty on his feet, can move about. can be frightening for defenders with his pace and his sidestep, and I give him a chance there. And also, I would keep Stuart Hogg at fullback. Despite his injury, he said he's fully fit, which is good to see, but I was thinking of dropping him, but I'd actually keep him just for experience alongside Darcy Gray, and also to give us a threat in attack as he always does. On the bench, I would pick, like I said, just Gordon Reid, WP Nell and Johnny Gray. I'd put them on, just drop them to the bench, drop Ryan Wilson entirely. I'd put in George Horne over Ali Price. I think George Horne's a much better impact scrum half than Price is. And also I'd bring Blair Kinghorn onto the bench, who I think offers a lot more than Chris Harris does as an impact player off the bench. And also he can cover wing, he can cover fullback. So if Darcy Graham or Stuart Hogg or Sean Maitland having bad games, he can come in there. And with regards to centre, obviously Adam Hastings can come in if the centre's injured, and Finn Russell can move to centre if that's an option. So that's the team I'd pick, and I'm going to do a prediction now. I think it's going to be a fast and furious game. Argentina have been pretty not great this autumn. They did well in the first half against Ireland, fell away in the second. Against France, they weren't that good. I thought France played pretty well that game from what I saw of it. But I think it will be a tough game, but I think we can definitely beat them, and we need to beat them for this to be considered a success as an autumn series. And I think Scotland will beat them. I think we'll beat them by 7 to 10 points. I think it'll be a tough game, but I think we will just have enough to pull away and win. So that's my thoughts on the game. Hope you like what I have to say, and I'm going to go back to Brandon now.
But what about an Argentinian perspective? How do Argentina view this match? Well, this match is quite an important game for them. I think this is the one they're going to target to try and win this autumn. They've had a tough autumn. They haven't won any games so far, and they've come up against very tough opposition. As I said at the start of the video, they played France on the weekend and lost 28-13. Before that, they played against Ireland and lost 28-17. And they haven't won since the 15th of September when they beat Australia in the Rugby Championships. And that's one of the big positive things for Argentinian rugby, is that they're part of the Rugby Championship. This means that they play against the likes of New Zealand, South Africa, Australia on a regular basis. And when you're playing against teams who are better than you, you are going to improve yourself. Now, I know that Argentina are strong in the scrum. They are also strong in the lineouts. Their set pieces are very strong. But their key player, of course, is Nicolai Sanchez, who plays for Jaguars in Argentina, but is also their fly half, their iconic player. When you think of Argentinian rugby, you think of him. And his kicking at the post is fantastic. His conversion rate is one of the highest in the world. And his experience and leadership is going to be key for this Argentinian side. But it's going to be a very tough game. Scotland play very attacking rugby. As we've heard already, they play rugby that is exciting to watch. I mean, the likes of Hugh Jones and Alex Dunbar and Finn Russell and Hogg, who has declared himself fit. It's going to be a very difficult afternoon for Argentina. And in my personal opinion, I don't think that they are going to win this match. I think it's going to be too much for Argentina. I think that they'll get tired near the end, 60 minutes or so. They'll start to get tired. Being away from home is going to make it tough. I just can't see Argentina getting the win in this one. But let me know in the comments, what do you think? Make sure to subscribe to Stargular G-Star. His link will be in the description down below. Subscribe to Bish Rugby for more previews. Like the video and comment your thoughts down below. So my prediction, Scotland to win.